Hey family, this is Timlin Bowens, America's favorite EA. In today's video, we are going to go over IRS Form 941. Now, the reason I'm doing this form is because I work with taxpayers who are facing trust fund recovery penalties because they failed to not only withhold and pay payroll taxes, but they also failed to file them. Now, the trust fund recovery penalty can be up to the amount that you were supposed to have withheld and paid. But if you don't file the form timely, you can also face failure to file penalties. So that's why in today's video, we have the preventative care of going over Form 941 to show you how to file that. So if this is your first time ever doing this form, I will try to go slowly, but you will want to make sure that you have all of your payroll details for this quarter, okay? For all of the employees you paid. So as you can see, this is for year 2024. This form was last revised March of 2024. We're going to need your EIN, which is your employer identification number. So that should be 9 digits long. We're going to have your business name here. So using mine as an example, we have Bowens Tax Solutions, no trade name, and the address is 101 North 7th Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. Now, with this form, because it is quarterly, you use the same PDF form for each quarter. So it's important that you indicate here which quarter this is for. So we're in second quarter right now, so that's why I have this box checked here for second quarter, which is going to be the payroll for April, May, and June. All right. Now, when we get to part one, they want to know the number of employees who receive wages, tips, or other compensation for the pay period, including March 12th, June 12th, September 12th, December 12th. Now, with that being said, because we are only looking at quarter two, that means that we are only taking into consideration April, May, and June. Okay? So during this period within Bowens Tax Solutions, we have 11 employees. Now remember, this is going to be employees, not contractors. So we're going to put that number 11 here. The wages, tips, and other compensation was $175,270.00. And the amount of federal income tax withheld from wages is going to be $13,750.28. Now, this is the amount that your employees choose to have withheld when they fill out their W-4, right? Because when you put that W-4 information into your payroll calculator, it tells you how much should be withheld. Now, this is going to be federal only. Now, when we go down here, we have the taxable Social Security wages and Social Security tips, Medicare wages and tips, and then additional Medicare tax withholding. So if you have somebody that makes over $168,000, the amount over that is going to go in here. And hang on, I think for this year is $168,000. If you were in a restaurant business or you have a salon and have employees that get tipped, that amount of tips is what you would put right here. Okay. So for the taxable Social Security wages, you have to pay half of the employee's contribution to Social Security, and they have to pay half. So what you see right here is 12.4%, and then this is 0.029, which is, what is it? I can't do the fraction right now, but it's 2.9%. Okay. When we add those two together, we have roughly 15.3%, which is the equivalent of self-employment tax. But I'll save that for a different video. If you're not sure what that is and you're self-employed, you can go check it out on my podcast or another video here on this channel. The reason I bring that up is because 7.65% of the Social Security is going to be withheld from your employee's check, and then 7.65% is going to come just directly from you. So that's the additional cost of doing business, is that 7.65% of their wages that you have to contribute to um, Social Security and Medicare. So in this example, we are not given any tips here at Bowens Tax Solutions. Nobody is making over that 168,000. So the total for lines 5A through 5D is $26,816.31. And we're going to add that to the amount up here that they choose to have withheld from their wages. And that's when we get here to line 6, we have $40,566.59. Okay. Now, in line 7, 8, 9, and then 11, these are different adjustments and credits. Okay. So, an example of a credit is if you have veterans working for you or people from certain demographics or zip codes. You may have something like the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, or it's referred to as WOTC. If that applies to you, then you would be looking at an adjustment. If you offer sick pay to your employees, then you would have an adjustment for sick pay or for group term life insurance. Those things are going to reduce the amount that you are actually paying in taxes because you have the tax benefit when you offer those things to your employees. Okay. Or when we're looking at the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, the IRS gives you that incentive of having a credit, which goes dollar for dollar against your tax liability when you hire people from those demographic groups. All right. So the total deposits, the amounts that have been paid for this quarter, are $27,044.39. So the balance due is going to be $13,522.20 because there's no overpayment. If there was, we could apply that to the next return or have a refund sent. And I do apologize because I'm a little bit congested and I know you can probably hear that. So when we go down for part 2, we have the business name again, Bowens Tax Solutions. The EIN is up here. You want to make sure you have that included if you are mailing this form. When we get to part 2, we are going to talk about the liability. So on line 12 on this return, if the amount owed is less than $2,500, or line 12 on the return for the prior quarter, so that would be quarter 1 of this year, was less than $2,500, and you didn't incur $100,000 next day deposit obligation during the current quarter, you would check this box, okay? Because there are some people who are having to make deposits of taxes every week. There are some who are making deposits uh every month, like in this example. So you want to pay attention to this part. In this example, we are a monthly scheduled depositor. So for month 1, which was April, we have the deposit of 13,522.20. For May, we have 13,522.20, and then we will have $13,522.19 for June, making the total liability the $40,566.59. Okay. And in this example, this is a pretty straightforward one. I didn't do anything with all of the work opportunity tax credits or anything like that. Now, you will also notice that here in 2024 that the COVID-19 relief credits are no longer available, which they shouldn't be, right? Because we're a little bit past that now. So if the business closed or you stop paying any wages to employees, then you would check this box here and enter the final date that wages were paid. Okay, then there's also a statement where you would give clarification as to why. If that is something you qualify for, you want to check out the instructions because I'm not going to go over it in this video because I'm already going a little long-winded, right? Now, if you're a seasonal employer and you don't have to file a return every quarter of the year, you're going to also check here. So that would be like if you run like a summer camp or you hire lifeguards for a pool, okay? A third party designee would be the person that you pay to prepare this. And if you're watching this video, you probably aren't paying somebody to prepare this, so you don't have to uh, fill this out. Now, if you're a tax professional filling this out and you want the IRS to be able to talk to you about it, you would check this box and you put your name, phone number, and your P10. Okay? If you're doing this DIY, you're going to want to sign this, date it, put your best daytime phone, enter your name and your title. So for me, it's Timlin S. Bowens. I'm the owner. Bowens Tax Solutions phone number there. And then I'm done. Now, I advise it's easiest to make the payment online with EFTPS, the electronic filing taxpayer system. However, I know that some people like to do checks. So I have an example of what the voucher would look like here. We want to make sure that the EIN is on there, right? Because we want the right account credited. We have that this is for second quarter. We have the amount here. And then we also have Bowens Tax Solutions, the address. All right. Now you can see here that if we are going to write a check or send a money order, we're going to make that payable to the United States Treasury. We want to be sure that we have the EIN on the check as well. And we also want to make sure that we do not send cash. All right. Because then you don't have any way to protect yourself either if they say they never got it. All right. Now, just like the payments, I highly recommend that you send this in with an electronic method. So there are different companies out there that allow you to do that. However, if you are mailing this without a payment, there are different addresses that you can send it to, and then there's a different address that you send it to with a payment. If you have a payment, funny thing is, your return is most likely coming right here to Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm at. If you don't send a payment, it's likely going to Utah. I will link in the comments or in the description rather, the instructions for this form so you can see where you need to mail it if you were mailing your return. If you have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. At Bowens Tax Solutions, we do not do payroll anymore. However, if you have back tax debt that is associated with payroll, we would be more than happy to set up a call with you to see if you're a good fit for us to work with you to negotiate that debt with the IRS and potentially get it reduced and penalties removed. I will see you guys in the next video.